Premier Furey is leading the charge on an equalization court case, challenging the distribution of equalization funding in Canada. And one of the things that shocked me was that British Columbia is sending money to the federal government so they can send it to Ontario. Ontario got $500 million in equalization funding. So not only does Ontario get equalization funding from BC, they get $26 billion in battery plant funding between them and Quebec. And Quebec gets $750 million in funding for migrants. We can't get money for dikes in the Sumas Valley. It's not okay. And so I will be asking our Attorney General to work with Andrew's team to have a look at the case they're bringing forward and see if there's a place for British Columbia in this. Because it's critically important to me that British Columbia is treated fairly.
The formula is fundamentally broken for Canadians right now. It was placed in the Constitution in 1982, and the spirit of it is not being reflected in the application today. In the Constitution, it says that there should be reasonably comparable level of services for reasonably comparable level of taxation. There is only contemplation for the revenue side. There's no proxy for delivery of services. Delivery of services in northern BC, delivery of services in rural Newfoundland and Labrador is challenging, but there's no contemplation in the formula for that. As a result, what happens is that there's incredible discrepancy amongst provinces.
Building out the Massey Tunnel. Here's a $4 billion project where a federal government minister took out a full-page ad to say the feds were going to help pay for it during the election. Zero right now. Zero. Iona wastewater treatment. Phase 1, we dedicated our funding a year ago. $750 million first phase, zero from the federal government. And so we can't build everything that the federal government needs to bring money to the table for. Taxpayers in BC can't afford to build everything for the federal government so that they can just rain cash down on Ontario and Quebec.